What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the number one comment on YouTube, and I'm back with another review. Today, I will be reviewing Married at First Sight. This is season 14, episode 15. And before I get started, for those who are new to my channel, I do recaps on reality shows. I do a detailed review. I don't go over every single scene, but I just pick out things that stick out to me, and maybe even pick out some details you might not have caught. So, as the number one commenter, all I look from you is to get down in those comments. Tell me what you thought. Something I missed, something you want to say. Because the motto of this channel is say what you say. That means anything you thinking on your mind is not off limits. If you want to talk about Katina's 600 density wig and she always patting it when she gets stressed out, or Olajuwon doing the head shake every time he only take half of his ADHD pill, say it in the comments. The only thing I do ask of that is that we respect each other in the comment. You want to talk about the people on the show? Say what you say it how you want it. If you only want to talk about that, just put something down in the comments, because that's what it's all about for me. That's what I'm motivated by the comments. And not only that, is because over here we have built a community. That community is the Dub fam. We get down in the comments, laugh, joke, debate, go back and forth, whatever. Just have a good time. And like I said, if you want to know where the funniness is, not on my videos, it's in them comments. The Dub fam is way funnier than me. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't just be saying it as a joke. When I read my stuff, with them comments, I do almost drop my phone or choke or something for somebody to say something they said in them comments. So it's totally the best part for me. So I'm doing the second part of my installment of Married at First Sight. We're doing couple by couple. This is Katina Olajuwon, and of course, for those who know, I've been a bit behind in scheduling because I'm working on my real estate journey, and it is grueling to my schedule. So I try to do my best to get the videos out. Still owe y'all, for those who are interested, video from Put a Ring on It and a video for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Don't know when they're coming out, but I will do my best because I appreciate y'all checking for me and my content. So let's get into the show. So Katina Olajuwon, they're back at home from the trip from the couples retreat from Vermont. And Olajuwon is sitting there brushing his teeth and foaming at the mouth like a wild dog, talking to Katina like, why? We can't wait for him to finish him brushing his teeth. We don't need to see that. We can't even understand what he's saying. Show them, not that I need to see it, show them coming out the shower, drying off, and actually taking a bath, because I ain't seen none of that from nobody. Not that I want to see a large one. I just find it very odd and triggering that these people be out in the wilderness or rolling in the grass and then get right back into the shared apartment bed. It bothers me. I can't explain it. Cleanliness, that's what I'm gonna say. Let's draw some lines here. But Katina's talking to Olajuwon, and it reminds me of, like, a kid who is trying to find approval for a parent. Like, ooh, daddy, can we go to the park next time? Or can we get the sled with the dogs and all that? And I don't like it. I don't know what to say. I don't like it. Like I said, it comes off of a type of pleasing and needing approval kind of situation. And I guess that's what Olajuwon wants. He has already groomed and molded Katina to be in that way, and it's just not fun to watch. I don't know if Katina is coming off like, is it for the show, or is she really like that airhead personality when she was just talking about how Olajuwon has brought, I guess, the adventureness out of him, because she knows that's what he likes. He doesn't want her to be scared of animals, and how she never thought she would run with the sheep. You mean the alpacas? Or I'm surprised she didn't call them gazebos like Olajuwon did. But I mean, it's just tough to watch. It might look like just mild conversation, but it's packed with uh, pleasing and acceptance from one way. And Katina just bought right into the program. She had mentioned that she she feels like her future baby daddy has turned her into Superwoman, like doing all the things that she never thought she'd do. It's just hard to even repeat this stuff or say this because it blows my mind. And what's really telling, like I would think, maybe Olajuwon's a little off, but he knows what he's doing. Even in his confessional, he mentioned that he had, what he questions is he has to see if Katina can continue to satisfy him and keep up with what he's adding onto her plate. That sounds like a workhorse. Like you're gonna keep pushing and pushing and pushing Katina and giving her more to do in her wifely duties that he made up in his booklet of what a wife should be. And as I said, I get tired of beating that dead workhorse of like Olajuwon is just going to be who he is because no one's there to correct him or give him someone to actually stop him from doing that molding process. Katina's just falling right in line and she's going with it. So I can't be so upset as I was before. Yes, the abusiveness is still there. The molding process, the controlling process, the absolutely ridiculous expectation he has of her are all still there. I just have to be less invested because she's not giving a pushback that's needed or even seem to be trying to remove herself from the process. She's going deeper and deeper into it. So when she's ready to be done, then I guess that's when we'll be done. So Olajuwon takes Katina a trip, takes her to a trip to where he grew up in the the PJs, the projects, because they have an assignment that they're supposed to visit. They're supposed to visit their old neighborhoods and stuff like that, and as well as write a letter to their childhood self. And I didn't see a letter come from either one of them. I guess Olajuwon decided that they wouldn't be writing the childhood letters itself. Olajuwon probably can't write for real. He get to stuttering and all that kind of stuff. So who knows? But yeah, I just can't say enough. Just in every scene, the people pleasing Katina, it's starting to make me sick to my stomach. I said I really wouldn't beat up on her so much because of like what she's in and dealing with Olajuwon and everything, but I'm just tired of it. And as I said, I just want her to want better for herself. And like I said, she's just seemed like she's just going right all into it, and it's just not easy to watch. And Olajuwon pretty much begins to continue with the grooming and molding process of saying that, well, you see pretty much what my story here, like growing up in the projects, it has made me to the person that I am, which I understand that part, but he legitimizes that, he's being tough on her or he's easily too upset when she's talking to him. And that just confirms like, hey, it's not my fault that I'm talking to you crazy or treating you in a harsh way because it's the projects that did it. It's the upbringing. And that's not okay for anyone. It is your job, if you have past traumas, which a lot of us do, horrific things have happened to us. It still gives us no right to treat others in such a way for our triggers. Your triggers are your own. So when you can, I guess, identify and manage them, that's when you become a better you and a better person to others. Not just to say, well, that's just the way I am. I cussed you out. I threw you all around the room or whatever because, I was raised that way. I saw other people do it. Or that's how we treat women. That's not legitimate. That's ridiculous. But, okay, he's just normalizing abuse. So, and like I said, Katina's going to go right along with it. She's just going to roll with the punches. So, Katina takes Olajuwon to her church. We didn't get to see, like, where she grew up or whatever. I don't know why, but, I'm not a part of production. But, hey, we're going to keep going. And Katina's pretty much saying, like, going to church is pretty much like a big part of her foundation. And it kind of gave her a space where she felt like she felt like she could grow. She felt comfortable. She met like one of her friends who actually was on the panel who was interviewing Olajuwon. So it really made her feel like comfortable with something to believe in, and she really gave a great example about how, because she had such strong faith, her mother had breast cancer, and that allowed her to believe, like, you know what, everything is always going to be all right, and it worked out for her. I thought that was a good example, but also people with faith, bad things still happen to people with faith. So, it's saying like, well, I prayed, and just because I prayed, mean it ain't nothing bad gonna happen. That's not true. But Olajuwon almost, I'm gonna say he came off competing with her stories or whatever. Your mom picked you up for church. My dad picked me up for church, and y'all ate donuts and we ate cheeseburgers. But he kind of backed up off of it and allowed Katina to have her moment. I would have liked to seen like where she grew up or more to the story, but I guess the church was her home, and that's what she brought Olajuwon to, and they discuss like bringing their children or her children, because that's who it would be. Regardless if it was Olajuwon, it's going to be her children, that she would bring them up in the church because it was such a positive experience for her. She want to, I guess, give them a foundation of believing, and then hopefully they'll decide to go on with that path as a believer. And Katina was pretty much saying like she prays upon everything, even prays for them, and that's why she had such a peaceful life. And I'm like, where's your peaceful life? We see the bags under Katina's eyes, like she been up all night long fussing with Olajuwon and crying. And I want to know how and where her life is peaceful. She's sitting right across from a demon that she lives with, but she got peace. But okay, I'm gonna go along with it. I'm just here to tell the story. So, Katina and Olajuwon, they finally get another house call from Dr. Pepper. I'm surprised Dr. Pepper came after dealing with Olajuwon. I wouldn't want to be in his personal space, even though that's a shared apartment. But Dr. Pepper's a professional, so she continued on. And Olajuwon, he knows that the interaction he had last with Dr. Pepper's was very negative, and he talking about, I got real with her, like he really straightened Dr. Pepper out. Dr. Pepper she just didn't go back and forth with him because she kept it real professional, and I'm sure she knew it wasn't really no help for him, or that it wouldn't have been positive to just really go back and forth when Olajuwon was like way up there. But Olajuwon is pretty much saying that this time is different. He feels like him and Katina at this point in their marriage really needs the guidance. And, Olajuwon, he continues to tell on himself when he's talking to Dr. Peppers about like what's going on. And the guy's like, I don't know if something's wrong. Well, we know something's wrong with him, but just his choice of words and language, or talking about, well, I get into it with Katina, but you couldn't tell after you get up and go pee or whatever. Like, do you really need to say that to Dr. Peppers? But I mean, that's just how he is. He's a little off. He's like a little kid who is just not quite. Everything's not quite there. He's missing something. But he's saying, like, I guess trying to show Dr. Peppers that he's grown up, or he's working at it. And he was saying, like, I'll tell Katina, like, you need to shut up. You just shut up. Then right then I'll catch myself. Like, you didn't catch yourself. You just told your wife that she need to shut up. So, okay. But Dr. Pepper's like, he a lost cause, so she ain't even get too much into that or whatever. But I would say Olajuwon pretty much talked the whole session, and I'm thinking like, where does Katina get to have her say in it or whatever? He controls the whole narrative. He controls the whole conversation. And Olajuwon, last point was pretty much like they have him and Katina have a conflict on when they're going to have children. Like, that's something that he's very concerned about, that he's worried that she's going to be like overwhelmed and burdened down by trying to, I guess, finish her education as well as having children. And he even got, like, I would say, teary-eyed or emotional in his confessional, of saying that he's so overwhelmed with it that he wants the best for Katina. However, he would say no on decision day because he would just focus and lock in and focus on him, as he did those 5 years ago, and fully concentrate on himself and bought a house and sold a house and all those things that Katina has not accomplished. It's just that he wants the best for her. So he, that's the thing. They already married, but he put it like, well, I'll be here for her. He doesn't understand that a good husband would support Katina with her dreams. Yeah, maybe, just maybe having a kid isn't the right time for her to do while she's trying to finish school and they have a new marriage. But he needs to support her through that so they can get to reaching their goals or her goals of having a child. But he doesn't see it that way. He somewhere in the Olajuwon handbook, everything's supposed to be already set up. Everything's supposed to be worked out perfectly. All your student debt is gone. Your house is supposed to be paid for in cash. Your car is supposed to be paid for in cash. And you can take a trip every week. That's in the Olajuwon handbook. He doesn't realize that you're supposed to build things together through marriage and support each other with things that are important and that things that are going to be helpful throughout your marriage. But that is not in the Olajuwon book. And quite frankly, I just think he wants like a way out. I don't think he's really into Katina like that and believes that she's going to be able to fulfill his ridiculous expectation of what a wife should be. So I don't think those tears were like, oh, I'm just so hurt for her. I'm so concerned that and worried about her well-being or her being overwhelmed. No, I believe he knows that he really doesn't want to be with her or see her as fit as a wife as he's expecting, because he's seeing her as a person who's starting all the way from the beginning or bringing all the student debt and wants a baby and all of that. It's nothing about partnership or togetherness in his mind. It's all about what he wants. And Katina's not it. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say. So we finally get to what Katina actually wants. But we don't get to hear what she wants. Dr. Pepper asked Katina, so Katina, what is it really you want for yourself? She made that quite evident. That's what she wants to hear. And I thought we was going to get a coming to America answer when Katina, what she wants, whatever kind of food he like, whatever kind of trip he want to go on to. Katina don't have a voice. And she proved that to me when she was pretty much focusing on what Olajuwon was concerned on. Katina wants to not be overwhelmed with school and trying to have a baby. That's not her concern. Because last episode she said, I have no concerns. We can do this. And Olajuwon no, you can do this, or you think you can do this, because you're not going to mess up my life with having no children, and I want to go on trips. Because I made those sacrifices. I did nothing. I didn't even go to the movies for 5 years. I did what I was supposed to do. Now, you did different. You had your fun. So now it's time for you to work. So Katina's just saying what he said. I want to not be overwhelmed by going to school. And her other thing was sometimes, no disrespect. You don't want to set Olajuwon off. It's I don't need as much as Olajuwon does. He's kind of needy. His need is level, but no disrespect. Because you don't want to set him off or get cussed out after when Dr. Pepper's leave. But I didn't hear what she wanted. All I heard was to not be overwhelmed if and when they have children, as well as Olajuwon requires more maintenance than she does. That's not anything that she needs, but she doesn't have a voice. And the concern that Olajuwon had, because that's what we really focused on, as well as Katina, it's fixable. It's called being a supportive husband, a supportive partner in your marriage. If Katina got 2 years to go, roll with Katina while trying to halfway balance out your marriage so she can get to her goal, and then y'all can create the goals together. But okay, I it's just so hard to believe that that's Olajuwon's focus of that. He's so worried about Katina, but I call bulls. It ain't real. It's just another way for him to find a deficiency in Katina that she's not ready or she's not meeting his standards, and she has to get there and be there. So that was pretty much for Olajuwon and Katina. I had to do the Olajuwon Katina segment next because who Alice the Great called out for it. She called for it, as well as Miss Bell, the number one comment on the Dub fam. So I told you I didn't really have no order because to me they was pretty much all boring. This episode was boring to me. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel like we got something done here. But what's next? Steve Illinois or Mark and Lindsay? We're gonna find out what's next. So, and going to Katina Olajuwon, the episode that's coming, it ain't really nothing happening. Olajuwon's still concerned about Katina's timeline and juggling all of that going on, and then we see peaceful Katina, get the rubbing her wig again because Olajuwon said something foul and crazy to her. They got her crying in her peaceful life, but we're gonna see. Get down in the comments. Tell me what you thought. Tell me what I missed. Let's discuss this. And as I tell y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really mean it.